afternoon. This is Mark Harrison of Sewer Line Check Professionals. I am here at 3816 West 180th Street in Torrance area, and I'm in the process of performing a video examination of the main sewer line. Now, the main sewer line is the portion of the waste drainage piping that is exterior to the structure. It lies underground and connects the building drain line system to the public sewer. The building drain line system then is the portion or portions of the waste drainage piping that is underneath or interior to the structure. Our examination today is not focused on the building drain line system, so if further evaluation is desired regarding that building drain line system, a licensed plumbing contractor should be contacted, or a specialty building drain line video examination can be set through our office. So I was not able to locate an exposed or accessible main sewer line cleanout. The main sewer line cleanout is an area outside the structure that has a cap that can be removed to allow access into the main sewer pipe as the drain system exits the structure. In this case, it would have been out at the front below our front kitchen windows. I did locate that on the way through, and it's just been buried, so we would recommend it be exposed and extended up to the surface. Now, we're sitting here about 60 feet from where we dropped in through a 3-inch cleanout underneath the kitchen sink cabinet. It's actually on the opposite wall of the toilet, which is what that cleanout is for, and pushed it about 60 feet down to the public sewer. Now, this is the connection of the private line to the public sewer. You look along the top of that connection, you're seeing a crack that kind of goes around the circumference of that area, some minor roots starting to penetrate through that crack. Now, this is something that is not all that uncommon, but it is a beginnings of some damage, so it's something that may need to be addressed here. If those roots continue to grow through there like that, they may split apart this pipe or cause some issues. So there are rehabilitation methods available that might be able to handle this without actually excavating the street. But before we make our final recommendations, we'll go ahead and pull back off of the public sewer. Now we're pulling it through the 6-inch vitrified clay pipe that comes from the city sewer back up to the property. Now, these clay pipe materials are very common for main sewer line systems. This type of piping does have a long service life expectancy. Being a natural material, it's not expected to deteriorate underground, but it is more brittle in nature and does have a higher potential for damage during seismic activity or earthquakes. Now, the root intrusions we're seeing are fairly common. Normally, we're suggesting that root intrusions like this at the joint areas can be maintained with regular sewer line cleanings, which is one of your primary functions of the main sewer line cleanout. It's an access point to be able to snake out the line. When these roots are left unmaintained for extended periods is when they can start creating blockages in a system or potentially damage a pipe. And we're seeing just kind of roots running all down along the sidewalls of the pipe here, coming in from these joints, just kind of clumping up into one long root mass. So a good snaking would do this system good. Alright, coming back up from our 6-inch clay now to our 4-inch clay up near the front of the property. As we get back into the 4-inch, we're starting to see that there are some cracks in and around these joint areas. Also, not an uncommon situation, but when the roots start penetrating through those cracks instead of at the joints themselves, again, those are going to worsen as those roots continue to grow. Slight offsetting here at this connection. There's a little bit of play within the way those pipes intersect, so it's not all that uncommon. You see we do have some soil mixed in with those roots, and we can't really see what's happening there, so this also needs to get cleaned out. It's kind of more of the same as we pull back. Many of the joints have roots coming in, and we're going to see a couple more areas where these joints have some cracking kind of in close proximity to them. This one is a little bit different in nature. You can see there's a kind of a break along the bottom of that pipe, and that crack has kind of come back around all the way.
not in sync.
So definitely some stress on this system. Stress at the joints from these root intrusions. Oftentimes the mud we're seeing at these joints is from the sewer bugs making nests. Not always a condition of soil coming into the line. Now this one here, you can see it's another little break here just before the joint. The good news with most of this cracking that we're seeing is that there's not a lot of displacement happening. In other words, they're not shifted or offset. So this line may be a candidate for the rehabilitation mechanism I talked about, which would be a lining system. And right here you're seeing at the top of the pipe, the opening, that's our main sewer line cleanout. And as we pull back, we're getting into the main sewer line itself. It's a little unusual. There's water actually coming in on the top of the pipe. This is our bathtub running, and I notice there's no water running down through the main drain here. As we get forward, that water's actually coming in through a chunk or a hole in the side of the pipe, so this is kind of unusual. It did take quite some time for the bathtub water to get to this point. We'll turn on some water at the kitchen sink here, and you'll see it'll start running right past our camera. So it's possible there's something broken under the slab here, and there's maybe a void or something filling up with water, and that's kind of finding the path of least resistance to the pipe there. I'm going to keep the recording on here for a minute. Okay, you see the water coming down from our kitchen sink. You can see how that works. And what I'm going to do is go turn the water off at the bathtub. I have a feeling we're going to see this water continuing to come in here for a little bit. So we'll just watch this here for a minute here. You'll see that the kitchen water has slowed down almost. Nothing coming through now, but we still got some. Just making out the top of the pipe where that water's coming in and running down the side and kind of jumping off that lip. Alright, so unfortunately there's no way to get a camera into that bathtub drain. You'd have to get the bathtub removed. Maybe some sort of leak detection service might be able to pinpoint what's happening there. But as far as camera work goes, this is basically what we can do. If there is a broken pipe and that pipe is leaking out into the soil, into the slab, and there's an area there filling with water, and that could certainly adversely affect the structure over enough time. So I'm going to recommend, unfortunately, that to really find out what's happening here, it's going to require intrusive investigation. Consult with a plumbing contractor or some sort of leak detection specialist company. They might be able to figure this one out. So with that, it's really all I can look at, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video portion of the examination for today. Basically, the main sewer line is functional. There is some cracking of varying degrees occurring, some of which are more significant than others. So it's a situation of potentially performing a few point repairs and closely monitoring the line, or considering maybe a rehabilitation of the line all the way to the public connection. This is Mark Harrison with Sewer Line Check Professionals. Thank you very much and have a pleasant day.